Hey Tom, I got a few cards of you on eBay a few years ago that I've been meaning for you to sign. Tom Nowatzki was a hulking 6'3", 230-pound running back out of Indiana who was drafted in 1965 by the Detroit Lions, 11th overall, one pick before Joe Namath. The same draft that featured Hall of Fame Chicago Bears players Dick Butkus and Gale Sayers, who were both taken in the top 5 of that year's draft. After 5 seasons in Detroit, he joined the Baltimore Colts in 1970, scoring a touchdown and winning a Super Bowl there in 1971 against the Dallas Cowboys in Super Bowl V. That's when you were on the Lions.
Bear in mind that this I'm gonna get a real card.
You hate your Lions days.
No, they you know, for what they had and the people they had there, when you look back at the coaches, and Bill Ford is the fucking worst owner there is. Look what he's done.
Right.
What is he giving the city to write other than hope?
Right. Now he gave it to his daughter. He was just a rich kid.
Bill Jr. is a cool guy. He was 17. I remember when I was at training camp for the first week, this little kid comes up to me and said, "Hi, Mr. Nowatzki, congratulations, I'm Bill Ford Jr." Okay, so I had a good relationship. I call him today.
Wow.
He's at Ford Motor, but
he was a little kid.
He was a little kid. He was 7 years old, and they didn't want him to be part of that football thing because the old man couldn't see that the people he had in charge didn't want him there because in the end he's going to win. It's his son.
Yeah, and they still haven't turned it around all these years.
No.
What about William Clay Ford when you met him? Was he a bright guy or was he?
You know, he could have been, but he was so aloof. Like he didn't want to lower himself to talk to you. And the only time you saw him is on the sideline of game day. Okay, he never came to practice.
That sounds like him.
I went to Baltimore. You know who's at practice every day? Carol Rosenberg.
Nice. So you got to be involved as an owner.
Even if you're not, the people got to think you are.
Right.
Oh, here, this is one of yours.
Thanks a lot, Tom Nowatzki.
See how you did.
Yep. So here is the cards. There's some early Lions ones. And I got one from his Colts. He scored a touchdown in Super Bowl V against the Cowboys, the game-tying touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. All right, taking a closer look at these two cards. That old Lions logo on there. Signatures came out great. Card's still very colorful and bright. Here's the back. Out of Indiana, he also kicked when he was at Indiana. Running back. Tom set a Big Ten record with a 50-yard field goal. Yeah, it's right there. There's the factoid. Can't believe the Big Ten record was a 50-yard field goal. What Big Ten record does Tom hold? Rub coin over clear area below cartoon and answer will appear. And that's the same pretty much answer, that 50-yard field goal most likely. Tom became Detroit's starting fullback in '66, his second season, responding by leading the team in rushing with 512 yards on 151 carries, 6 TDs. He caught 54 passes for 316 yards. He is also a solid blocker. So Tom is my boss, and he owns this truck service station. He has a few of them. His memorabilia up there. Here's his Baltimore Colts pennant. Transitioning over to some modern cards here, I got some Press Pass 2003 cards from Collegiate. Another batch here, gonna put it in the same video. This is gonna be very satisfying. Press Pass 2003, I got a whole lot of them. This is how this guy shipped this one. 42 different cards loose in there. Kyle Bowler, remember he went late in the first round to the Ravens, ended up being a bust. They couldn't figure out their quarterback situation for the longest time. Darren Diedrich out of Nebraska. Oh, Chris Brown. Remember he went to the Titans. They beat Nebraska Cornhuskers that one year, the day after Thanksgiving. Him and Brian Calhoun just ran all over the Cornhuskers. Ernest Cram, haven't heard that name in a while. Pretty good overall, I'd say. There's a Musa Smith. Pretty sure he went to the Ravens, too. Nice. Bryant Johnson, yep. Kelly Washington, the quarterback from Tennessee. What's good about these old press passes, they were officially licensed. They didn't have to blur out the logo. Benny Joprew out of Michigan. Go Blue. Teo Johnson. Brandon Lloyd, he was phenomenal at Illinois. He went on to make some terrific catches, very underrated player. Went to the 49ers later in his career and finally blossomed. Jimmy Kennedy. God, didn't the Rams draft him like they thought they were going to finally fix their defense? But they didn't. Mike Doss went to the Colts. Won a national championship with Ohio State. Eric Steinbach. Jordan Gross, another high draft pick. Kwame Harris went to the 49ers, had a great career. Brian St. Pierre. Charles Rogers, this is the Lions' first round pick. First wide receiver of 3 wide receivers in a row. We all know what happened to him. Marcus Trufant, great pick by the Seahawks. Cornerback. Justin Farias, terrible. I loved Ontario Smith. I wanted the Lions to draft him in the second round, but it wasn't meant to be. I think he went to the Vikings. Ended up getting in legal trouble. Golden, the steal of the draft. I think he was injured during the combine. He ended up running like a 4.8, which is terrible for a wide receiver. And then him and Charles Rogers faced off in the first game of the season, the Cardinals and Lions, and they both went off, and they looked like they were going to be having promising careers, but it was only Anquan Bolden that ended up having a great career. Tave Ragona, and I haven't heard some of these names in 15 plus years. Willis McGahee, if he didn't bust his knee, the Lions would have drafted him second overall, most likely. Loved him in college. Had an amazing year in 2002, if you see some of his highlights. Chris Sims, now a CBS sports analyst. There's a lot of hype around him, son of Phil Sims. And he was a lefty, remember? Andre Woolfolk, remember him? T. Sizzle, who went to the Ravens. This was just a phenomenal draft. Brad Banks, the former Iowa quarterback. He won some games there, too. Now we got, I think he faced Carson Palmer in the Orange Bowl. Remember when USC was good in 2002 with Carson Palmer? Boss Bailey, who ended up actually being the Lions' second-round draft pick. He played like safety and strong side linebacker. Ken Dorsey, another great player in college. Offensive coordinator for the Bills now. Terrence Newman. Cowboys drafted him and had a long, phenomenal career. Andre Johnson, it was a toss-up between him and Charles Rogers as the best wide receiver in the draft. Texans got Andre Johnson, who ended up having a great career. Jason Witten, who finally retired. He was the last one from the 2003 class to retire. Tight end. Lee Suggs. Before Kevin Jones, there was Lee Suggs at VT. Larry Johnson. A lot of rushing attempts for the Chiefs. Byron Leftwich. I showed you the autograph that I had earlier. This is the base one. And Rex Ghostman, who put up a lot of numbers at Florida.